I've got 16 hacks, tips, and recipes to get the most out of your food processor. Starting right away with trick number 1, butter. You can make homemade butter in your food processor, one ingredient, and it's gonna taste better than anything you buy in the store. Add heavy cream straight to your food processor and let her rip. This is a great thing to do if you buy heavy cream in bulk at Costco or somewhere. You can get a lot of butter for your money. We know that when you whip cream and you take it too far, it turns into butter. That's all we're trying to do here. It'll eventually turn into butter, and we'll have the butter and the buttermilk. Less than 5 minutes, we have butter and buttermilk. The food processor works so fast. Once you start to see the solids separate from the liquid, you know you're there. I'm gonna strain this off, and then you wanna press any extra liquid out. It's like butter, baby. Save this buttermilk for your baking. Add it to a bowl, season it up with just a little salt, and now you've got perfectly flavored, soft, and spreadable butter ready for your toast. At this point, you could also roll it into a log and place it in your butter dish. I think this is really handy and often more affordable if you're looking to make organic butter, because organic cream is not that much more expensive than regular, but organic butter is like double the price. It's good butter. We should all be doing that more often. This next one is my friend Zoe's favorite thing I've ever taught her, that you can make homemade sausage in your food processor. Why would you do that? A, because it's cheaper. B, because you can control exactly what's in it, no mystery ingredients. This is also a great hack to do with leftover steaks or stew meat. You can make your own ground beef for burgers. I'm gonna make pork sausage by using just boneless pork chops. These are sometimes usually around $5 a pound, where a 1 pound of breakfast sausage also costs about the same thing, but you're also paying for a lot of fillers and chemicals. All you have to do is take whatever meat you're looking to do, cube it up, and pop it in your food processor. This is one of those things where you're like, duh, why have we not been doing this? Plus 1 pack of pork chops, it's gonna make a lot of sausage. It's a great thing to do when meat is on sale. Straight in. Depending on how much you have, you may have to do this in batches, or how big your food processor is. You know good and well you didn't think it was gonna work. That is perfect ground meat. You could stop here and you've got perfect ground meat for whatever recipe you're looking to use it in, whether that be ground beef, chicken, or pork. I'm gonna turn this into sausage, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add my seasonings in, give it a couple pulses, and we have fresh breakfast sausage. Sage, a little fresh thyme, a little rosemary, kick it up. See, I mean, you can control the heat level, the ingredients, nothing mysterious. If you're a fan of maple sausage, you could add in a little maple syrup here. And that's a lot of sausage for about 10 bucks. I like to make sausage patties, and then you can freeze them raw or cook them and still freeze them for a quick and easy breakfast. This is some beautiful breakfast sausage. You're also getting all meat in here and not a ton of fat. You can choose a fattier cut of meat if you want, but I'm really proud of that. I'm telling you, when meat is on sale, this is what you need to be doing with it. So tender, it's perfect. Truly some of the best breakfast sausage I've ever had. I just love being able to taste exactly what I know we put in it. And we have plenty left over to keep our freezer stocked. Your food processor is the most efficient way to slice and shred things, especially when you have a lot to do. This one's more of a tip because I think you just might not be using this because you're like, what the heck is that for? Your food processor is going to come with another blade. Okay, this blade is for slicing and shredding. It's reversible. Whichever part of the disc is raised, that will tell you which side does what. For example, this has the raised blade that looks like a curved knife. That is going to slice. If you flip it over, the raised parts look like that on a box grater, so that's gonna grate or shred. So we cleared that up, but how do you use it? You have to take this blade out, because if you shred and then it goes to the bottom, then it's all gonna get chopped up with this blade. Your food processor will also come with one of these inserts. This goes in place of the blade, and then you place your disc on top. So first we will slice, so I've got my raised blade on top, and now we're ready to go. I'm gonna show you with zucchini. This is good if you're making like a gratin or some sort of veggie casserole. If what you're slicing is larger than the hole that it goes in, you can just cut it in half. I'm gonna slice off the ends because we're gonna end up feeding the whole thing through. Once you put your food in there, you can use the insert to help push it down. You don't wanna push it down with your fingers. It's just that easy. Look at all these sliced veggies. Now time to shred. Same insert goes in. I've flipped the disc over so that the raised blades are those that mimic what is on a cheese grater. Have you ever stood and shredded a whole head of cabbage for coleslaw? It's all about efficiency. And then when you're done, it all just goes straight in the dishwasher. Done. Wow. It's just way easier this way. Forget the bowl, whisk, the big stand mixer. You can do your big batch mixing right here in the food processor. I'm gonna show you how efficient this is by making a whole breakfast casserole without bringing out any mixing bowls. So we know our casserole is going to need shredded cheese, so I went ahead and did that. And then I go straight into the casserole with it. Just trade out the insert, and now we mix the rest right in here. For this recipe, I'm gonna add in some chopped green onions, and then add in everything else, our eggs and our milk. I'll admit, I'm guilty of not maximizing the use of my food processor either, but I'm being inspired today, and I hope you are too. And add in a little hot sauce, salt and pepper. It's just so much faster than a whisk. Before I pour it in, I'm also gonna add to this casserole some sausage and bacon. You just pour your custard right in. Probably one of the easiest things you'll ever do. Then you just pop it into the oven, 350 degrees for about an hour. A perfect casserole that was so easy to make. I'm gonna top it off with the tops of those green onions. I should probably let it set up. Who's got time for that? Yum. This is a hearty breakfast casserole. A plus 5,000. And it tastes that much better because it was so easy. I would say what I use my food processor the most for is to make dips. Whether it's a French onion dip, a hummus, a tabbouleh, you can get everything super finely chopped in your food processor, and that's why it's so perfect. I'm showing you my homemade salsa, and the only way to make it's in the food processor. I use a combination of fresh tomatoes and canned tomatoes because I think that's just perfect. Bottom line is the food processor is just the fastest and easiest way to go. Also add in some onion and a little fresh jalapeno. All of this is gonna get chopped to the same consistency, so I can add it all in at the same time. I can add the other stuff later. You can also control how you want things like this. If you want a chunkier salsa, you can stop sooner. I'm doing more of a restaurant style salsa, so it's super pureed. See how beautiful that is? I like to add the herbs in last. That way you still get the flecks of green in there. If you add it too early, sometimes it discolors what you're making. I'm just kind of doing whatever I feel like today. A little cumin, fresh lime juice. P.S. That's the best way to get the juice out of the lime. Oh, now that's, can't show that. And a garlic clove. A little salt. And now it's gonna look just like what you get at the restaurants. That was so fast. Super fresh, super yummy. I haven't done this in a while. There you have it. The best, easiest dips come out of the food processor. And this is gonna go so great with what I'm showing you next. No fancy ice machine needed when it comes to making crushed ice. You can do it right here in your food processor, just in time for happy hour. As you can see, this would also be great for snow cones. But to go with that salsa, how about a frozen margarita? Now that gets you in the spirit for the warmer weather. Oh my God. We're just about at the halfway point. I guess I'll put this down and keep going. Because food processors can whip and whirl so fast, they're perfect for emulsified sauces. I'm gonna show you how to make a homemade mayonnaise, which is the base for lots of other sauces, but we're just gonna start with the basics. Egg yolk, and the yolk is gonna act as our emulsifier in here. Sometimes you can add in some mustard, Dijon mustard in addition to this. We're just going classic. To that, I'm gonna add in some fresh lemon juice. In order for a sauce to emulsify, you have to gradually add the fat in. You can't just dump it all at once. So a lot of times when you're whisking and drizzling, it just takes a lot of arm power. This is gonna simplify it for us. So the goal is to get the whisking part going and then slowly drizzle in the fat. Eventually we'll be able to get all of the oil in with the egg yolks and lemon juice. What's good about this, just like the butter, you control the quality of your ingredients in your mayonnaise. Beautiful. This is as simple as it gets. You can add in garlic, Dijon, turn this into an aioli. That is just simple yet perfect mayonnaise. Emulsification is so easy in the food processor, and we just made perfect homemade mayo. You can whip up a batch and just keep it stored in your fridge.